It's time now for another installment of a segment that's been sweeping the nation the last couple of weeks. Over Under. Today we are going and doing a Winnipeg Jets edition. Sean, it's good to see you. How are you? And are you ready?
I'm great, and let's get at her, Kyle.
Okay, but before we start, we should just put in the qualifier that the numbers we're going to throw at you, we're going under the assumption that they are going to play a 56-game season. Of course, at this point, we don't know yet whether or not that will be the case. With that, let's get to it. Topic number one, Patrik Laine, a big name in that market for a whole host of reasons and drew a lot of rumors in the offseason. The Sportsnet odds makers have put the number at 45 for games played for Laine in a Jets uniform this season. Over or under for you, Sean?
I say over, and there's two reasons I say that. First off, I think that he's going to be with the Winnipeg Jets for the duration of this year. The Jets went out, they got Paul Stastny. The moment they did that, I saw them trying to create a scenario where they were preparing for Laine to be around the whole year. We've all heard the rumors, the potential for him to be traded. I think that, there's legitimacy to that, but I just think it's hard to move a player of that caliber right now with so many teams in the money trouble they're in. So I do believe he will be with the Winnipeg Jets for the duration of this season. And the second part of this is he's just a really durable player. He's missed time for injuries here and there. That first season that he played, he had a concussion for a bit, but he's bounced back from that, hasn't shown any ill effects since then having to do with that concussion. He's a big guy. He's rugged. He can handle the NHL game. So I think he will play over 45 games in Winnipeg Jets jersey this season.
I mean, to go against the rules, but beyond this season, is the future still very much in jeopardy with Laine in Winnipeg?
I think so. I think that he's made up his mind, and when you hear what his agents have to say, he's made up his mind that his future, his best future, lies somewhere other than Winnipeg. I think if a deal was to be made at this point, it would have been made, but Kevin Cheveldayoff is a guy who's not just going to give a player like that away. He's going to make sure that he gets what he wants in return. At the same time, it's a diminishing asset because as of right now, they've got 3 years of team control over him. After this year, it's down to 2 and 1, which is going to make it harder for him or for the Jets to get a return back on him. So I think at one point, the time constraint is going to force him out the door before his time with the Winnipeg Jets contractually or team control-wise runs out.
Okay, topic number two. Kyle Connor will score 30 goals this season, which is the equivalent of 44 about over the course of 82 games. Will he do it?
Yeah, I think so. Kyle Connor, I don't think he ever wants to score less than 30 goals in a season. Since he got into the NHL, he hasn't scored less than that, and he's got better and better every single year. And one of the reasons is he plays with two great players in Blake Wheeler and Mark Scheifele, and I think that line is probably solidified into being a trio with the addition of Paul Stastny, who is likely going to be playing the second line with Nick Ehlers and Patrik Laine. So he's got the guys who can get him the puck. He's been getting better and better. He's a pure trigger man, and the thing about him is last season he put up great numbers. And if you would have watched Jets games at the beginning of the year for about the first 15 games of the season, he was snakebit. He was hitting posts left and right. He was missing wide open nets. As good as his numbers were last year, it could have been even better. And I think he's a player on an upwards trajectory. So yeah, I think he goes over 30 goals.
Okay, Paul Stastny is a Winnipeg Jet for a second time in his career. And the Sportsnet's odd makers are saying he will score 40 points in 56 games. Do you agree?
Yeah, this one I think is the tough one. Do I think there's potential there? I definitely do. He really clicked with Nick Ehlers and Patrik Laine, again, the players we expect him to play with. And he put up numbers when he was playing with those two players the last time he was in a Winnipeg Jets jersey. Now, since then, he's left, and he put up in his first season in Vegas, his points per game. If he matches that this season, he's going to go over that 40-point plateau. Last year, though, he didn't even get 40 points, and he played over 70 games, I believe. So his production was way down. When it's a player his age, 35, soon to be 36, you got to wonder if age is catching up to him. I don't think that is the case, especially with the two players he has to play with. I think there's the capability of him to produce at that points per game. I just think that, at the age that he is at and at the grind that it's going to be this season for the players to try and get through this season, I think injuries are going to creep up here or there, and I think that's going to keep him just under that 40-point plateau.
All right, final one for you, Sean. Connor Hellebuyck, the reigning Vezina Trophy winner, will finish 4th in the Vezina voting this season. So essentially what we're saying, if you're going over, you think he'll be a finalist, and if it's under, then he's not going to make the ballot. Where is your head at on this one?
Now, this one's a tricky one as well. I'm a big believer in Connor Hellebuyck from watching his practice habits and talking to him and how he approaches the game. This is a guy who's not happy with just one Vezina trophy. The guy wants to put 9 in his trophy case, or 10 or 11 before it's all said and done. And he backs it up with the work that he puts into it. The one thing that has me a little skeptical is what we've seen so far from Connor Hellebuyck in his NHL career is he has one good year and a little bit of an off year. Good year, a little bit of an off year. This year he wins the Vezina. Last year he wasn't so good. And the year before that he was a Vezina finalist, although he didn't win the trophy, but he's 2 of the last 3 years he's been considered one of the top 3 goaltenders in the league. I'm going to say that he's going to break that trend and he's going to put together 2 back-to-back really good seasons, and he's going to go over and finish in that top 3. It's going to be tough, though, and I think it's a risky call on my part because I don't think the Jets did enough to take care of that back end of theirs, that defense core, much maligned defense core that people think has shown a lot of weakness, that really put Connor Hellebuyck in a lot of bad spots last season. However, I think Connor Hellebuyck has figured out the formula on how to play off the style that his defense plays. So I do think he's going to go over. You're going to see him being a Vezina finalist again this season and really establishing himself as one of the best, if not the best goaltenders in the NHL in this short era.
The beauty about this exercise, Sean, is that right now there are no wrong answers. However, as time drags on, then there's the potential for some to start to grow. And of course, one thing we know about sports fans is they're like elephants. They never forget. So we will watch this season unfold with bated breath, Sean. As always, great to speak with you, man. Stay healthy, and let's chat again soon.
Great to see you, Kyle. Thanks.